Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up.
We have traveled all over East Africa to find hard-working farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need,
so they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences
on the Shamba Shape Up Safari.
Welcome to Shamba Shape Up.
This week we are in Kajiado, the home of wildlife and livestock.
And where good, delicious meat comes from.
And not just good meat, Tony, but nyama choma. You're not tasting any of that meat until we finish work.
No doubt, Carol. We're about to meet farmers who not only work for themselves, but for others too.
These farmers love serving others, and we want to find out how they do that exactly.
What are you waiting for? Let's go meet them.
Let's go.
Today we are in Kajiado County and we are visiting Sister Lucy at the Loreto Abundant Life Center.
So it's here.
Lucy.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, fine, thank you.
Good.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana. The Loreto Abundant Life Center.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can we get in?
Oh yes, Karibuni.
Thank you.
We are very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
So Loreto Abundant Life Center.
Yes.
Sister Lucy.
Yes.
What is in abundance here?
Plenty. Now, Loreto Abundant Life Center was started to conduct activities or workshops so that we can educate people of the effects, the bad, the harmful effects of female genital mutilation. We have these hostels where they come at the board, and where we are here, this is the dining, they eat from here, so they come over a weekend.
You're doing a very good job.
Yes.
But my next question comes is, why do you need Shamba Shape Up here?
Now, everything that we do here depends on donor funding, and sometimes it's not always there. So we decided to start farming so that we can also be able to support the project. So we are growing some crops here. We also have cattle, we have sheep, and therefore we are trying to see what we can do so that also the project can become self-reliant.
Mm-hmm. What challenges are you facing?
Of course, it's so dry, challenges of diseases and many other. And even we need really education on how to develop our farm.
Well, fear not, Shamba Shape Up is here.
But you need to give us time to pitch our tent. We'll catch up with you later.
We'll catch up with you later.
All right?
Okay,
Right.
okay, sister.
Okay.
Let's pitch the tent and get ready to work. We all love mutton, don't we? Keeping goats and sheep may seem easy, but if you want good milk and healthy meat from them, you need a good plan. Victoria from the county government is here to share some best practices that can help Lucy improve her sheep farming.
We try to keep the sheep, first of all, so that we can feed our participants when they come. And secondly, also, so that we can also earn some income, so that we can also be able to continue with that project.
Now, Lucy, in this area, it's quite dry, and in fact, everywhere in the country and in the world, you're being affected by climate change. Has it affected you and your production of sheep?
Oh yes, it has, because the sheep likes to feed themselves on the ground. So with the drought, it has been challenging. And second, we have also been infected by some kind of disease that saw quite a number of them dying. And that was quite discouraging.
Oh, so sorry to hear that.
Yes.
So Victoria, with the climate change, I'm sure the grazing land is disappearing, and sheep are browsers. What would you advise our farmers to do, especially sheep farmers?
Sheep would say they are very good grazers, and they also browse depending on the kind of forage. She has put correctly that with climate change, we have seen a lot of reduction in the pastures. And so with that, now the sheep, they are getting low quality feed, and so even the productivity of the sheep is also very low. And we also say that if the feed is of poor nutritional quality, then you also expect the challenge of the diseases to come in.
Lucy, what do you do about climate change since it's already here with us?
In our farm here, we have planted Boma rose grass. We try, when it has grown, we harvest and we stock. So to supplement those period of drought.
That is a very good strategy of coping with the climate issues.
Conservation of food or the feeds.
Yes.
From which grass? Is it any kind of grass? Are we talking of hay? What are we talking about?
Yes, we are talking of the hay. It can be what they have introduced, the Boma rods, and there are also so many other varieties which they can still introduce and get good quality pasture. And again also, I can see they have also paddocked the farm, so that is also another way of managing the grazing land. Do the rotational grazing so that they give each piece of land time for the pastures to regenerate. Another one is to make sure that they keep the correct stocking rates for the sheep and goats.
Yes.
If you have a small farm, definitely your herd will be smaller so that it will be able to cater for the number of animals you have.
Ideally, with good pasture, you should keep 6 to 10 sheep in an acre. Paddock the land for better management of the grass, and do not keep the sheep in one paddock for more than 3 months.
To go along with the climate change, what kind of breed do you recommend for these dry areas?
Okay, for the sheep, we have our very adaptive kind of breed, that is the red Maasai sheep. So that we improve on the productivity, we cross it with the Dopa, and then we can have a higher quality breed.
What breed are you having, Lucy?
I think we have the Doba.
Is a Dopa good here?
Yeah, Dopa adapts well here, but we still need those traits for resilience for the red Maasai sheep. So the crosses will adopt better than a pure Dopa breed.
Aha. Yes. Have you ever had a visit from an extension officer to help you?
No.
You just walk into an agricultural extension office and you say that you need them to visit your farm and they will come. The services are usually free of charge, and they will always update you on the new things to be done, the routine practices you need to do.
So have you vaccinated them?
Oh, yes. We have vaccinated them.
What is the importance of vaccination, Victoria?
When we do vaccination, that is a preventive way of diseases. Instead of them getting sick and then you incur now the cost of treatment, which sometimes might even lead to loss of the animals. Yes, then for the sheep and goat, it is always very important to do regular deworming.
Victoria went on to say that it is very important to vaccinate your sheep against disease. Spray them regularly against ticks and deworm them regularly. Shear your sheep to stop buildup of manure and urine on the wool, as this brings parasites. Top of mind to any farmer is where to buy and sell livestock. And information on different market prices is even harder to find. The International Livestock Research Institute has been working on ways that farmers can get this information, and Vincent is here to tell us more.
Lucy, where did you buy your cows from?
We contacted another person we know, and then he's the one who led us to the market.
Yes.
And we bought the cows when they were very, very weak, malnourished. About, I think there were 20 of them.
Did you go to the market yourself?
No, personally I didn't go.
You didn't go?
I just trusted this person.
And now you have the cows here.
Yes.
There'll come a time when you'll want to sell them.
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Usually some of these traders, they know that this kind of cow, this one, you can fetch it for this amount.
It's a big challenge, is it?
Yeah, I can see, like, if she wanted to buy the cows, she has to just look for the markets manually. And if she wanted to sell, she also has to go through the hassle of sending a broker, and you know, with brokers, you also have to spend some money paying them.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
But you're here because you have solutions, don't you?
We have an application that has been developed by the International Livestock Research Institute. This application is called KAZNet.
KAZNet.
KAZNet. Yes.
KAZNet.
Yes.
What does KAZNet mean?
In fact, it's coming from Kazi Kwa Network.
What exactly is it?
So what KAZNet does is to bring information closer to people. So we came up with this application that uses small surveys, just short questions, and you don't have to be very literate to use this application. In fact, you'll just need a small training, and you can be able to use that application to collect information about markets, to gauge where to take their livestock in terms of the good performing markets, and to avoid markets that are not doing well in terms of prices.
How does it operate?
First, for you to get the application on your phone, you'll have to have a connection to a network or someone with a Wi-Fi around you. So you just get the app on your phone. Then once it's set up on your phone, you are sure you've logged in, you can even turn off your network, your internet connection, and even collect that information without an internet connection, and then submit that information when you have a connection. For example, you can log in and submit information about milk you are producing in your homestead from your livestock. And once we have that information, for example, how many liters are you producing? And we can also ask you about the prices around you. Then we can use that information to advise other people about prices in your area. And if those prices are good, these people can sell milk in your area or sell away if the prices are not good. Yes.
Wow, it sounds interesting.
That is very interesting, because you are saying that the information you get from different farmers
Exactly.
is the one that will help
Yes.
the rest of us who may log into your app.
Exactly, so that it can also enable you to sell to different locations. And it also happens the same process even for livestock. For example, if you wanted to buy a breed of cattle for keeping, maybe for milk, you can get market information from all over Kenya, and you can decide, can I buy this breed from Nairobi? Can I buy it from Marsabit? Where should I buy? So you'll be in a position to make a decision based on information that has been submitted from these areas. Yeah.
If I log in now, I'm wondering if what I'm getting there was posted in January. You know, how do I know whether that is the current market rate?
We are ensuring that this data is collected on a weekly basis. So after each and every 7 days, this data can be submitted. You see, farmers have been sending information to us, and the information they are capturing, for example, on livestock prices, the sex of that cattle, the breed, even the size. Is it a moderate size? And you know, prices are driven by all these factors. So you can use that information to make a good decision in terms of where to sell. Yes.
I think it's a very good thing, in the sense that if I needed any clarification, or I'm not aware of anything like the market or where to sell, I am able just to log in and get such information. I am only disappointed that it's not on now, because I was very ready to go right away there.
See?
KAZNet is still being developed and will soon be available across the country. For more information, contact Shamba. Talking of markets, Lucy has a lot of manure that she's selling locally. But the manure is exposed to rain and sun, which brings down its quality and price. I think the Shamba Shape Up team can do something about this.
So, Tony, what do you think of livestock farming in relation to climate change?
Carol, there are so many challenges, but I'm sure our farmers are going to become more resilient and be able to get a lot out of their livestock.
Well put.
See you after the break.
Welcome back
to Shamba Shape Up.
We are in Kajiado County, and we are at Loreto Abundant Life Center.
No time to waste.
Let's get back to act, Carol.
Tomato is one of the most profitable crops in farming. Lucy has been planting tomatoes for several seasons, and she needs help. Let's see what Victoria from the county government has to say.
We constructed this greenhouse with the name of planting tomatoes. They did very well at the beginning. We saw very nice plant. We started ripening and we started harvesting. After 1 week, then the plants started dying one after another. Checking with experts, we were told it's bacterial wilt.
Bacterial wilt.
After the tomatoes failed, Lucy did crop rotation and introduced other crops like coriander, spinach, onions before planting tomatoes again. But they still dried up and died.
Does crop rotation affect the way our crops turn out?
Yes, and crop rotation is a very good way of breaking the disease and pest buildup, because after you do tomato, you are supposed to rotate with another crop which is not from the same family. Like she had done the onions, which is very good.
So what could the problem be?
You've done well, but we would like to know, where did you get the seedlings? Did you propagate them here or you bought the seedlings?
We bought from our neighbors here.
Sometimes the problem can be seed-borne. You cannot be sure whether you did not bring that seedling from that place when it had been infected or contaminated. So maybe that could be one of the reasons. And most times we recommend farmers, they can raise their own seeds if it is possible, so that they can have a record, so that you are sure your planting material is clean. And I would like to know whether you also did a test for the water.
Having your water tested will help you know if there is any disease in the water that can harm your crops.
All right. So maybe, Victoria, if you could tell us, what kind of management plans can our farmers have so that they get the best results from their tomatoes?
Yeah, it's good to do soil testing.
There are two types of soil tests. One that checks the nutrients in the soil and the one that checks for diseases. It's important to have both of them.
The next time we want to plant our crop, it's good we first maybe treat the soil. We can do solarization so that if there are any pathogens in the soil, then we can kill them. Then after that, it will be ready for you to plant.
Lucy can do solarization by covering the seed beds with a polythene sheet during the hot season for at least 2 weeks before planting. This will increase the temperatures in the soil to levels that will kill many disease-causing organisms, nematodes and weed seeds.
And then from there, we manage our crop. Right from the nursery, we transplant to the greenhouse. Then we continue with the routine management practices.
To get a good tomato crop, always use certified seeds. Rotate between different crop families. Prune and stake your plants. Scout and control for pests and diseases.
Then we will also try and use biological controls so that we can also put the sticky peppers so that we can control whiteflies and aphids, so that we'll be able to have our field being disease-free and also pest-free. And also we look at the drip lines, whether they are clogged or not, so that we avoid the moisture stress, which can also lead to the loss of your crop. Yes. For bacterial wilt, sometimes it takes a very long time to eliminate it because it can go even for 3 years. So that now the soil is free of the bacterial wilt. So it can be painful for the farmer, but you will have to leave that field free of the tomato for 3 or more years, and then maybe afterwards you can come back and plant your tomatoes. Meanwhile, you can do also other high-value crops which are not in the same family but of high value, so that you can be able to recover the investment you have already put. Yes.
Welcome to the Shamba Shape-Up Farming News for Kenya. There will be no rain in most parts of Kenya in the coming week. As shown in our weather map, all the areas in red will have no rain, from north, northeastern, eastern, central, south rift and Nyanza. A few areas in the lower eastern and coastal region will get very little rain of not more than 15 millimeters. This includes lower Garissa, Tana River and Lamu. Kwale, Mombasa and Kilifi may get moderate rainfall of up to 50 millimeters. Central Kenya counties, Mount Kenya region, Nairobi and its environs expect no rainfall. The western parts of Turkana and around Lake Turkana, Marsabit, Central Rift and Baringo may see showers of rains of not more than 25 millimeters. The western region will get very little to moderate rain of between 5 to 50 millimeters. This includes Bungoma, Busia and Vihiga, with some parts of Kakamega receiving up to 50 millimeters of rain. Finally, the Nyanza region counties will remain dry in the coming week. However, Nyamira will see rains of up to 15 millimeters. Farmers, the ongoing low rains may cause food crisis in the coming months. Manage the food you have well without selling to make sure your family has food for the unforeseen future events. Continue to irrigate your crops and apply mulch to ensure water is retained in the soil. Remove weeds by hand pulling and using a weed killer as they compete for the scarce water in your crops. Buy and stock plenty of hay for your animals as pasture may be scarce with the absence of rain. Reduce your livestock to a number you can comfortably manage. For more farming news and tips, get in touch with Shamba on 0711 082 606. I am Brenda. See you next week on the Shamba Shepherd Farming News for Kenya.
We all know that we cannot live without ugali, right? But how do we make sure that we still plant maize, even with a long drought? We have invited Lillian from Acre Africa to tell us how farmers can deal with climate risks that affect maize.
Wow. Lucy,
Yes.
this maize looks good.
Thank you.
What will happen if something happens to your maize and you don't get to harvest? What will you do?
Well, I'll just say, no, it's gone. Oh, Lord, it's gone. That's waste.
I know you have a car.
Yes, I do.
Why did you take an insurance on your vehicle?
Because I want to be covered in case of accident. Yes, that I know at least I will not be grounded.
Okay, so it makes you be comfortable.
Oh, if you don't have insurance, oh, yeah, that's a very big risk.
It's a big risk.
It's
Why?
a very big risk because if you knock somebody, you'll be required to meet the cost. But you know the insurance covers that up.
You have your maize here and I know you're expecting a bumper harvest, but just in case something happens. Yeah, and that's why Lillian is here.
So crop insurance is a cover that is usually taken by a farmer. It's taken against unforeseen circumstances. So these circumstances that you're talking about are risks such as excessive rainfall, such as drought, such as pests and diseases, fires, and so on and so forth.
What are the benefits of taking an insurance?
First of all, the farmer becomes more lendable. You see, the lending institutions, they are more willing to lend to farmers that have taken up insurance because this means in case of a loss, the farmer is able to repay the loan that they took. Another thing is that the farmer is able to be restored to the initial position that they were financially because in case you lose everything that you invested in, you're able to be paid back part of what you had invested in the farm. Another thing is that the farmer gets a peace of mind because they are assured that in case an event that they've covered their crops against happens, they are sure to get compensated.
Is insurance expensive?
Insurance is not expensive. We have insurance that premiums range from as low as 50 shillings and as high as 1,000 shilling. So the 50 shilling allows the farmer to be able to make top-ups. So they can pay that 50 shillings, but they can also top up to whatever amount they want to insure their crops against. So it's quite affordable, both to the smallholder farmer and to the large-scale farmer. So there are two options for the farmer. They can either cover the cost of investment, so how much investment they've put in the land. Also, they can cover the expected yield from the plot.
So how do you monitor whether the farmer, for real, this calamity happened, and so this farmer must be paid?
For the smallholder farmer, we use what we call the index-based insurance. So we monitor rainfall using satellites that are orbiting in space. So in case the amount of rainfall that is recorded shows depressed rainfall or excessive rainfall, we're able to cover the farmer and we're able to compensate them accordingly.
Okay. And now this 50 that I have contributed, the maximum I can get is just the 500.
Yes. That is if you take the 50 shilling premium.
If I take the 50 shillings premium.
But in case you want to be covered, let's say you want to take a cover that is worth 10,000 shillings, you only have to pay 10% of that for you to be able to get on that cover. So 10% of 10,000 is basically 1,000.
So she decided the new season, she wants to take insurance. What are the steps she's supposed to follow?
So first of all, Lucy, you need to know that you take insurance at the point where you're planting, and we've made it so simple for the farmer that they only need to use their mobile phone. And I think many farmers have the mobile phone now. You dial a USSD code, which is *800*70#. Once you dial that, a menu pops up where you can select the type of crop that you want to plant. You select the planting date, then you select the amount of investment or the expected yield that you want to cover yourself for. So once you do that, you get a quotation, which now indicates the amount of premium that you need to pay. Once you pay, the insurance cover becomes active.
Farmers, insurance is only there to help you get back on your feet if your crop is damaged by unforeseen weather. You still need to use certified seeds and control pests and diseases.
Not all farmers are in areas that are good and fertile for farming or areas that receive rainfall, and we know these are the arid and semi-arid areas. Are they eligible for insurance?
Insurance, as I said, is a cover against uncertain, unforeseen circumstances, and drought is one of the unforeseen circumstances. And in this arid and semi-arid, that is a common risk. Simple answer is that yes, we do cover them.
So it's not partisan, it's for anyone who's doing farming.
Exactly.
Are you now going to encourage other farmers to take
yes,
insurance?
Yes, I mean, I think that's a very good idea, especially in this region whereby the rains are unpredictable.
The structure to protect the manure is ready. Let's bring in Lucy to see what she thinks.
Okay, come on in, Sister Lucy. Here you go.
Wow. This is wonderful.
This is the surprise we had for you.
What a surprise.
Yes, we felt that the manure was a bit too exposed, and that is not so good because it loses nutrients.
So now with good manure, you're on your way to become a very, very productive farmer.
Yes.
I want to thank Shamba Shepherd for the great work they are doing, and especially that we have become part of that great work.
Now that is happiness. And so we'll see you next week on Shamba Shepherd.